According to Ukrainian intelligence findings, the Russians may launch another offensive next year. President Volodymyr Zelensky continually appeals for military assistance. I spoke with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni today and thanked her for the assistance received so far. Right now, we are agreeing on the delivery of air defense systems. Much depends on the approaching spring. We have underestimated the threats occurring in the winter, but now we are setting further security and defense goals. Despite increasing the number of their units in southern Ukraine, the Russians have been unable to break the front line near Bakhmut for weeks. Institute for the Study of War experts compare the situation in this section to that in the Kherson region, when Russian forces were running out of resources. Some analyses indicate that it is the Ukrainians who can break the stalemate and launch another counteroffensive. At the moment, the offensive is stalled. The momentum is not there. The subdivisions are already exhausted. There is a lack of combat resources, and above all, the morale of the soldiers is very low. We see isolated spurts. Despite the relatively stable situation on the front line, the effects of the Russian invasion are being felt in most Ukrainian cities. Local authorities and residents are working on new ways to mitigate the effects of the electricity shortage. In Kiev, volunteers have set up a number of humanitarian points called Invincibility Centers, which have been equipped with generators, among other things. These points can be compared to magnets that attract the residents of their area. At such a difficult time, people must have a place to come together and help each other. According to World Bank forecasts, the poverty rate in Ukraine could rise to 55%. This will happen if Ukraine does not prevail by the end of next year, as the Russian invasion degrades the functioning of Ukraine and its economy. Currently, the poverty rate is nearly 25%, while before the Russian invasion it was just 2%. The shelling of Kherson continues unabated. It is difficult to estimate the scale of the damage. In the latest hit, a medical facility was destroyed. It is difficult to describe how great the scale of Russian cruelty is. What is happening in Ukraine are blatant terrorist acts. Meanwhile, the occupation authorities in the Luhansk region are trying to consolidate the Kremlin's control over the area. According to administrative units working with Kiev, forced indoctrination of residents is currently being carried out in the region. In the Luhansk region, the forced process of granting Russian citizenship to children who have not yet reached the age of 14 has begun. To do so, one of the parents must have a Russian Federation passport. Of course, it is not easy to get one. Those who refuse must face immediate dismissal from their jobs or denial of social benefits. The occupiers have no time to make a decision. Meanwhile, the European Council in recent weeks has agreed on a ninth package of sanctions on Russia. The restrictions will hit the mining industry, which accounts for about 30% of Russia's budget. The economic blockades agreed upon so far are leverage against the Kremlin's war machine. Russians admit that Western sanctions are being felt. It's a fact. Many clothing brands have left Russia. This has had a big impact on me. I need specific clothing brands. Some I liked because of the value for money and the look of their clothes. We always buy only Russian goods. We have everything on the store shelves. Nothing has changed. A lot has changed. The variety of cheeses has decreased drastically. There are dozens of them, too many. Dad, the store is full of them. Not true. Put up with such a man. He's impossible. I couldn't find my favorite Portuguese white wine. Oh, what a tragedy. There is a lot of Crimean wine. In short, we have everything. We will win with everyone. Let's go. Vladimir Putin signed a decree yesterday on retaliatory steps for imposing a price cap on Russian oil. The document shows that Russia will halt the supply of oil and petroleum products to countries that agree to the restrictions.